Okay, so here we are, ready to Mandelbrot set ourselves. I don't know what that means. Okay, so I did already have this typed in. I need to import numpy as NP, and the matrix plot library pyplot as PLT. So eventually, whenever I need to use those libraries, they'll be in here. So I've got this typed out, and then if you hit this little button for play, it'll run it, and now those are officially loaded. So you see it says 0 seconds, it took 0 seconds, but now this is officially loaded into the memory. Okay, so let's talk about a Mandelbrot set. So like I said, you're going to need to do, so I started out with the definition of a function. So when you define a function in Python, it's just def, and you don't define the outputs here, you actually define the outputs in the function itself, and then I put in 3 inputs. So the point called C in the complex plane, the limit that we want to go to, and the number of iterations. So how many times do we want to do this? So remember I said that the L is how much freedom we want it to be able to get away from the point 0. And then the number of times we're supposed to do this is infinity, but we're just going to do it 100 times. And we're going to start with Z and assume that we've been given a complex number, A plus BI. Okay, and I'm also going to make a little thing here. So see, I just click the code button. I'm going to go ahead and define, oh, it's giving me all kinds of suggestions already. Thank you. I'll just hit tab, and it just filled it all in for me. I don't know if it did that for you or not, but that was kind of cool. Now if I run this, nothing's going to happen. Well, maybe nothing's going to happen. It's going to say, oh yeah, check Mandelbrot's not defined. That's because I didn't run this section first. So I ran this section before I ran this section, so check Mandelbrot is not in the universe. Okay, so I'm going to define it, and then it's like, there's nothing here. I'm like, yep, that's true. Okay, so, so here we go. So I'm going to take a point called Z, or a point called C in the complex plane. I start with 0. Now, 4, thank you, that's really helpful. I don't know if it types that out for you or not, but I'll just pretend that it doesn't. So remember that I want to do this an infinite number of times or a certain number of times. So the way I'm going to set this up is I'm going to say for I in range and then iterations. Now notice I need to put a colon here, just like there's a colon here. That's just part of the syntax. So remember, this is going to give us the numbers 0, so if I have 100 iterations, this is going to give me the numbers 0 to 99. So it's going to run it 0 to 99 times, okay? So what I want to do is I want to say Z is now going to be Z squared plus that new C value. And I just want to keep doing this over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, so if I get to a point where the absolute value of Z is greater than that limit, and again, put a colon, I want to return 0. It's not in the Mandelbrot set. Otherwise, so outside the for loop, if I get all the way through the for loop, and this is where your spacing is going to matter. So see how I have 4 gets indented to Z. If then gets indented again, so this is technically, I don't know if this is helpful, but the commenting thing here is a %. So this ends the if, and then 1, 2, 3, there we go. This ends the for, so now I can do things outside the return loop. I'm going to return a 1, and then that ends the function. So it's very helpful. All right, so that's really all there is to checking if something is in the Mandelbrot set. Make sure you run it again so it has the new definition in its system. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to test it and tell me if that's not in the Mandelbrot set. Okay, let me try a different number. What about 0.25 and 0.25 times ij, 1j? If I run this, it is in the Mandelbrot set. So, I mean, I can just do this a jillion times over and over. Is it not? Is it not? And I can get that answer over and over. So before you go any further, make sure that you can get this working. If it's not working, that's probably because you haven't clicked this button. and also make sure that you're clicking the button over there on the left. So that's the first step, and then next thing we're going to do is put it in a loop and get some answers.